Hey guys, welcome back to Ferrigno Freedom Channel. I'm Dante Ferrigno. This guy behind me sleeping on the floor is Sam, and we're just coming to do one more reaction video today. My wife actually sent me this video recently called Edinburgh Scientist Turns Plastic to Ice Cream. UK designer recycles plastic into ice cream. I gotta tell you, just the title of this video scares me to death. That this is where we are. It reminds me of that scene from Jurassic Park when Ian was trying to explain to the scientists who were making full-size dinosaurs come to life again, predators who were going to roam the earth, that they ran so quickly to see if they could that they never stopped to think if they should. And I think this is exactly what this sounds like. What in the world are we thinking? I get a lot of people that tell me right off the bat when it comes to stuff like this, like they'll try to defend these manufactured meats and making food out of plastic and all kind of garbage like this because they want to say that our food system is not sustainable. The only reason why our food system is not sustainable is because we're not doing it right. We're not raising animals properly. We're not doing the things that we should be doing. We're trying to put all of our responsibility onto somebody else, and that somebody else is looking for ways to make things cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And all of everything we eat these days, unless it's meat, and even then in some cases, it's all fake. It's fake food. It's like we live in a house of cards. We've got fake drugs. We got fake food. Even our money is fake these days. And so much of everything we depend on is just hanging by a thread right now. It's a literal house of cards, just waiting for somebody to push one spot and everything comes crumbling down. I just thinking about situations where we're trying to avoid getting plastic in our food by accident, to start off with plastic as the food source seems like it should be obvious that this shouldn't be the answer. But I'm only judging by the title. Let's check out the video real quick.
Be your typical bowl of vanilla ice cream, but it is in fact made from plastic waste. The ice cream was developed by Eleonora Ortolani, an artist and designer who wants to change the way we think about food and what we consider to be edible. The confection still has to go through extensive testing before it is available for human consumption, but until then, Ortolani is sharing her creation through an exhibit called Guilty Flavors.
So Guilty Flavors is what I believe is the first sample of ice cream made from plastic waste. Actually, the vanillin contained in the ice cream is what it's coming from, the same plastic as we can find in bottles, plastic bottles. And I did that collaborating with bacteria and enzymes that actually naturally evolved to digest plastic.
The process enlists bacteria and enzymes to digest polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, a plastic commonly used in bottles, packaging, and food containers, and turn it into vanillin, the molecule that gives vanilla its flavor. Dr. Joanna Sadler, a biotechnologist from the University of Edinburgh, who provided the specifically engineered bugs for Ortolani's project, says the potential of this process goes beyond vanilla ice cream to other flavors and even other food items.
Once you break down the plastics, in this case PET, once you break it down into its building blocks, we call those monomers, you can turn those into many different things.
Sadler says she has received backlash for her research on degrading and upcycling plastic for use as feedstock for microbial growth. She wants to make it clear that products like Ortolani's ice cream aren't hitting the shelf at your local grocer anytime soon.
I even had members of the public email me saying it's irresponsible to encourage people to eat plastic. And I think it's this thing that there's this perhaps misconception around what it actually is by the end of the process, that it is no longer plastic. But I think as part of that, it is really important that we take the safety side of it really seriously, and we make it very clear that this has to go through exactly the same regulatory processes and food standard processes as any other food ingredient. And only once it's been through all of those would it go anywhere near any kind of consumer product.
Until then, Ortolani hopes Guilty Flavors can help spark vital conversation around plastic pollution and what she says is a looming global food crisis.
This project started from a very big frustration about how the plastic recycling system cannot keep up, and also that despite all the information around plastic production is not decreasing, it's actually increasing. When I started this project, it was just very science fiction, and I was only interested in the critical side and, you know, like pushing boundaries and trying to explore what actually is possible and what is not. But during the journey, it was already clear that some species did that. Some species are eating plastic, and some scientists are already looking into that. So why not?
Why not? Why not indeed? Lord have mercy. I'll tell you why not. Look at where we are. Look at our food system is already full of garbage. Of course it's going to make it through the FDA. Of course it's going to be patented and it's going to be put on the product shelves. And of course people are going to eat it. This is not natural. This is not even sane. I can't understand how they can't see it. On one hand, I mean, like, my logical brain says, can't they see that this is not natural? That the solution to making too much plastic is not to have humans eating it or animals eating it? That's I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how seemingly smart people can come up with such crazy, ridiculous ideas to think that we're going to get rid of this plastic problem by turning it into food. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all, because, I mean, it's bad enough that ice cream has all these ingredients in it that aren't natural ingredients to begin with. But I mean, we keep trying to make something fake out of something that used to be real. And then we think that it's okay for humans to eat that. Our bodies aren't made to eat this stuff. Our bodies aren't made to eat the stuff that's in the food we have already. This just takes it to a whole new level of insanity. And videos like this normalize it. People who talk about it, the reporting that's done, it all normalizes it, and it makes it sound like, well, this is a potential. And at first, our notion is to reject this. But then as time progresses, more and more people start to accept and to accept and to accept. And we get led down this path of crazy behavior. I'm not going to be eating any plastic-made ice cream. I'm not going to be eating any ice cream for that matter for the most part. I have considered looking into some of the things like Dr. Kiltz's version of carnivore ice cream, but I'm really not looking for ways to find sweets in my life anymore. So I haven't even gone out of my way to do that. But it's the kind of thing that if I ever did get a hankering for, I might look into something like that, where I'm looking at finding natural ways to make it. And maybe not as sweet as I was used to before, because I'm used to not having sweets. But this idea of coming up with a solution for getting rid of our trash abundance by eating it, I mean, isn't there any rational sense left out there in the world of science? I noticed that the video said at the very beginning she was an artist and a scientist or whatever, but I caught on to that artist part and I thought, you know, thank God for the artists, but they come up with some crazy ideas sometimes. And now we're letting them do something like this, to where this is going to be considered normal before long if this type of research continues. I'm not asking people to stand up and stop the research. I'm just asking the people doing the research, ask yourself if this makes sense. Ask yourself if this is a true solution to the problem. Wouldn't a better solution be to come up with more ways to make natural food and to get away from making products that need to have plastic containers? We could get back to glass containers. We could do things that don't cheapen everything that we have. And we're constantly making things cheaper, but at the same time, inflation is driving the prices of everything up. We've got to stop making decisions that take us in this insane direction. not making new insane decisions to deal with the last insane decision. I'm not going to be eating any of it, and I hope you won't either. What is the world coming to? I don't even know how to end this video except to say thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?